Have you ever paused to consider what your hands might be silently telling you about who you truly are? At first, it might sound like a simple curiosity, something surface level, perhaps even trivial. But for Carl Jung, one of the most profound minds in psychology, nothing about the human body is random. Everything that's visible is a mirror of what's invisible. Jung believed that the hands are not just tools we use to shape the world. They are symbols of the psyche itself. The structure of your fingers, the lines on your palms, the shape of your nails, the way your hands move, all of it reflects deep archetypal energies and psychological patterns that live within you. It's not about fortune-telling or superstition. It's about symbolism. It's about understanding how the unconscious mind speaks through the body, how it leaves clues not just in dreams, not just in emotions, but even in the physical form you carry every day. Think about it. Your hands are the bridge between thought and reality. Every decision, every creation, every act of care or harm passes through them. Your hands are the physical manifestation of your will, your creativity, your love, your power, and your purpose. And what if the shape of your hands, their strength, their sensitivity, their texture, wasn't random? What if it was a psychological imprint, a living map of the energies you came into this world to work with, to develop, to master? When we look through the lens of Jungian psychology, through archetypes, the collective unconscious, and the language of symbols, it becomes clear that the hands are much more than we've ever been taught to believe. They are an external reflection of the internal architecture of your mind and soul. In this journey, we're going to explore what the shape of your hands says about your inner world. Whether your fingers are long and slender, short and strong, whether your palms are wide, square, narrow, or delicate, each form carries a meaning, a psychological signature, a symbolic blueprint of your personality, your emotional patterns, your instincts, and even your soul's purpose. But before we begin, if you're someone who craves depth, self-awareness, and inner transformation, consider subscribing to this channel. This is a space for those who are ready to go far beyond surface-level advice, and instead, dive into the hidden language of the psyche to truly understand themselves. Now, take a deep breath, because what you're about to hear might not only change how you look at your hands, but how you understand your story, your patterns, your power, and the life you were always meant to live. The psychological mirror behind your hands. To understand why your hands can reveal so much about your inner world, we must first step into Carl Jung's profound view of reality. Jung believed that the external world and the internal world are not separate. They are reflections of each other. The body itself becomes a canvas where the psyche expresses what words cannot. This isn't mysticism. It's the language of symbolism, the way the unconscious speaks. Jung taught that everything physical is an outward expression of inner energies. This is why he spent his life studying not just dreams and myths, but also symbols found in art, religion, nature, and yes, even the human body. The hands, perhaps more than any other part of the body, are extensions of the soul. Think about it. Your hands are how your inner world interacts with the outer world. Everything you think, desire, create, destroy, heal, or hold passes through them. This is why the structure of your hands is far more than a genetic accident. In Jungian psychology, it is a symbolic map of how your psyche is wired. It reflects your psychological strengths, your challenges, the archetypal energies you embody, and even the emotional lessons your soul is here to master. Across history and cultures, the hands have always been viewed as powerful symbols. In ancient art, sacred scriptures, and mystical traditions, the hands represent power, healing, creation, protection, and transformation. From the mudras of Buddhism to the handprints on ancient cave walls, humanity has always intuitively understood that the hands carry meaning far beyond the physical. In psychological terms, your hands represent your relationship with the world. How you give, how you receive, how you hold on, how you let go. Whether your hands are broad or slender, strong or delicate, each form mirrors how your mind approaches life. Some hands are designed for building, others for nurturing, others for leading, others for sensing, and others for transforming. And the fingers themselves? They are not random either. Each finger represents a psychological function. The thumb symbolizes willpower and self-determination. The index finger holds authority, leadership, and direction. The middle finger represents responsibility, balance, and structure. The ring finger symbolizes creativity, beauty, and emotional expression. The little finger is connected to communication, intuition, and connection with others. The length, shape, and proportion of each finger reflect how these energies operate within you. And the palm, the foundation, reveals whether your energy is more mental, emotional, practical, or intuitive. This is not fortune-telling. This is the symbolic mirror of the psyche, the language of archetypes made visible through the very hands you use every day. So the real question becomes, what story are your hands trying to tell you? In the next part, we'll explore exactly what each hand shape and finger proportion symbolizes through the lens of Jungian psychology. You might discover that the answers you've been searching for have been in the palms of your hands all along. The meaning of hand shapes. The psychological energy hidden in your hands. When viewed through Jung's lens of symbolism and archetypes, the shape of your hands becomes a profound map of your psyche. It reveals not just how you interact with the world, but also how your inner world is structured. Your instincts, your strengths, your emotional patterns, and even your spiritual calling. The hands are not generic. They fall into distinct symbolic categories, each reflecting a different psychological blueprint. Let's explore them. The earth hand. The archetype of the builder and the protector. Square palms, short fingers, thick, strong hands. The earth hand belongs to those who are grounded, reliable, practical, and deeply connected to the physical world. These individuals are the builders of reality. They are steady, loyal, consistent, and focused on what is real, tangible, and enduring. Psychologically, they carry the archetype of the builder, the guardian, or the provider. Their energy is slow, steady, and patient. They value structure, routine, and stability. They believe in showing love through action, through what they create, fix, hold, and protect. The light side is strength, loyalty, and unshakable reliability. But the shadow can be rigidity, resistance to change, and difficulty accessing the emotional or spiritual realms. Their growth lies in learning that not everything valuable is physical, that emotions, dreams, and inner growth are just as real and important as the material world they work so hard to sustain. The air hand. The archetype of the thinker and the communicator. Square palms. Long fingers. Slender, flexible hands. The air hand is a symbol of the mind, communication, curiosity, and intellect. These individuals are natural analysts, thinkers, observers, and communicators. Their world is built from ideas, concepts, and understanding. They carry the archetype of the intellectual, the messenger, or the observer. They are drawn to learning, teaching, writing, speaking, or any form of intellectual or social exchange. The light side is intelligence, adaptability, and mental clarity. But the shadow can manifest as overthinking, anxiety, detachment from emotions, or being trapped in endless mental loops without taking action. Their growth lies in balancing their sharp mind with emotional presence, realizing that wisdom isn't just about thinking, but also about feeling, sensing, and experiencing. The fire hand. The archetype of the leader and the initiator. Rectangular palms. Short fingers. Wide hands with pronounced lines. The fire hand embodies the energy of action, passion, leadership, and creativity. These individuals are the ones who get things moving. They are dynamic, ambitious, full of energy, and often unwilling to sit still. Psychologically, they carry the archetype of the leader, the warrior, or the initiator. Their energy is bold, assertive, and sometimes intense. They are driven by a need to express, achieve, and make their mark on the world. The light side is confidence, courage, and the ability to inspire and lead others. The shadow emerges as impulsiveness, impatience, aggression, or burnout from constantly pushing without rest. Their growth lies in learning the art of pausing, embracing reflection, and recognizing that not every battle needs to be fought, and that inner work is just as heroic as outer achievements. The water hand. The archetype of the empath and the healer. Rectangular palms, long fingers, soft, sensitive hands. The water hand represents the energy of intuition, emotion, empathy, and the unseen realms. These individuals are deeply sensitive, highly intuitive, and often attuned to the emotional currents around them. They embody the archetype of the empath, the healer, the artist, or the mystic. Their inner world is rich, imaginative, and emotionally complex. They often feel everything deeply, the joy, the pain, the beauty, and the sorrow of the world. The light side is compassion, creativity, spiritual depth, and profound emotional intelligence. The shadow, however, can be emotional overwhelm, hypersensitivity, escapism, or the tendency to become lost in their own inner worlds. Their growth comes from learning how to set boundaries, stay grounded, and protect their energy while still honoring their deep capacity for love and empathy. No hand is just one thing. It's important to understand that most people do not fit perfectly into one single type. Your hands may carry a combination of these energies. Perhaps the strong palms of the earth hand combined with the long fingers of the water hand, or the square palm of the air hand with the shorter fingers of fire. This mixture itself is symbolic of the unique combination of archetypes that live within you. Your hands are not labels. They are mirrors, reflecting both who you are and who you are still becoming. In the next part, we will go even deeper into the symbolism of the fingers themselves, the lines, and the gestures your hands naturally make. Because the truth is, your hands have been speaking the language of your soul all along. You just needed someone to help you finally listen. The deeper meaning of your fingers, lines, and gestures. The invisible language. Your hands have always been speaking. If the overall shape of your hand serves as the foundation of your psychological blueprint, the details, like the length of your fingers, the lines on your palms, and even the unconscious gestures you often make, are the fine print of your soul's contract. Jung believed that the unconscious mind constantly seeks expression. It tries to reveal itself in dreams, symbols, projections, and patterns. And yes, even through the body. Among all the body's tools for self-expression, the hands are the most eloquent. They do not simply grasp the external world. They hold, release, protect, create, destroy, express, and transform. Every wrinkle, every line, every subtle movement tells a a story written long before you were consciously aware of it. In this part of the journey, we move deeper, beyond the shape of the palm and into the architecture of the fingers, the mysteries of the lines, and the profound, often overlooked meaning of how you use your hands every single day. The fingers, the 5 pillars of your psychological structure. Each finger represents a distinct psychological energy. They are not just functional appendages, but symbolic antennas, channels through which different archetypal forces are expressed in your life. The thumb, willpower and self-determination. The thumb is unique. It stands apart from the other fingers, symbolically and anatomically. In Jungian terms, it represents will, autonomy, and the power to shape reality. A strong, thick thumb suggests someone with a powerful will, a person who can manifest goals, endure challenges, and impose order on chaos. They are the builders of their destiny, relying on persistence and determination. A slender or flexible thumb often points to adaptability, diplomacy, and a more cooperative style of interaction. These individuals may be less forceful, but more skilled in negotiation, charm, and subtle influence. If the thumb is very rigid, it can indicate stubbornness, inflexibility, or an excessive need for control. If hyperflexible, it may reflect difficulties with boundaries, discipline, or commitment. In Jungian language, the thumb is your relationship with the self as the agent of change, how you apply your conscious will to shape your inner and outer worlds. The index finger, power, authority, and leadership. The index finger represents the archetype of the leader, the commander, the director. It holds the energy of pointing, commanding, choosing direction, and asserting influence. A long index finger often indicates a natural leader, someone drawn to positions of responsibility, guidance, or control. They possess a psychological drive toward recognition, purpose, and mastery over circumstances. A short index finger may point to someone who is less interested in power over others, but more focused on collaboration, reflection, or internal mastery. Imbalances here can reflect issues with authority, either the overuse of dominance or the chronic avoidance of standing in one's power. Jung would describe the index finger as the outward projection of the ego's relationship with power, identity, and purpose. The middle finger, responsibility, boundaries, and integrity. As the central finger, the middle finger represents structure, responsibility, and the moral compass. It holds the energy of boundaries, self-respect, and the balance between freedom and discipline. A prominent middle finger suggests someone deeply concerned with doing things the right way, with integrity, precision, and a clear sense of personal responsibility. A short or underdeveloped middle finger can reflect discomfort with structure, rules, or long-term responsibility. Psychologically, this finger is the pillar of the internal judge, the part of you that asks, "Am I living in alignment with my own truth?" The ring finger. Creativity, beauty, and emotional expression. The ring finger carries the energy of the artist, the creator, the lover. It represents not just romantic love, but the broader field of beauty, harmony, and creativity. A long, prominent ring finger indicates someone drawn to aesthetics, self-expression, art, performance, or emotional depth. These are the people who often feel most alive when they are creating, inspiring, or sharing beauty with others. In some cases, it also symbolizes the need for validation through recognition, whether that's applause, appreciation, or admiration. A shorter ring finger may reflect someone less concerned with external beauty or performance, but perhaps more internally focused or pragmatic. In Jungian terms, The ring finger is the antenna for the anima or animus energy, the inner feminine or masculine creative force that seeks expression through beauty, art, and love. The little finger. Communication, intuition, and connection. The smallest finger holds surprising power. It represents the messenger, the negotiator, the intuitive connector. A long curved or expressive little finger suggests someone highly attuned to communication, whether verbal, written, or intuitive. They are natural storytellers, persuaders, counselors, or mediators. It also carries a deep connection to intuition, especially regarding relationships, social dynamics, and unspoken energies. A very short or stiff little finger can signal discomfort with vulnerability, difficulties expressing emotions, or challenges in creating deep emotional connections. In Jungian psychology, this finger embodies the bridge between the conscious mind and the unconscious, particularly in how we communicate with others and with our own deeper self. The lines. The inner map of the psyche. While popular culture tends to reduce palm lines to simplistic fortune-telling, the deeper Jungian view is that these lines represent the wear patterns of the psyche itself. They are the energetic pathways formed by repeated thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and life experiences. The lifeline reflects vitality, grounding, and one's relationship with the body and the material world. The headline represents the mind, how you think, solve problems, and process information. The heart line reveals emotional patterns, capacity for intimacy, and how you experience love and connection. The fate line, if present, mirrors the sense of purpose, destiny, and how external circumstances intersect with internal drives. These lines are not static. They evolve over time, changing subtly as your psyche shifts, grows, and transforms. In essence, your palm is a living journal of your psychological journey. The gestures. How your unconscious speaks through movement. It's not just the structure of the hands that matters, but how you use them. Your unconscious expresses itself every day through gestures. Clenched fists may reflect unresolved anger, control issues, or the need to defend oneself. Open palms signal receptivity, openness, and trust. Fingers that fidget, twist, or rub often reflect inner anxiety, overthinking, or the mind's attempt to regulate emotion. Pointing, tapping, or chopping movements signal assertion, authority, or attempts to direct attention or control outcomes. These micro-expressions are physical manifestations of internal psychological processes, and often they reveal truths faster than words ever could. A mirror you've been carrying all along. The deeper you look, the clearer it becomes. Your hands were never just hands. They are the bridge between your conscious identity and your unconscious reality. Every line, every curve, every gesture holds a message from the psyche. Messages that, once understood, can change how you relate to yourself, your relationships, your choices, and your path in life. This is not about prediction. It's about awareness, about realizing that the universe, the same force that shaped your soul, also shaped the hands that carry it through the world. When you learn to read this mirror, you no longer walk blind. You begin to understand the patterns, the symbols, and the energies you were designed to work with. Not as limitations, but as the keys to unlocking your highest potential. And that's the invitation, to finally see. Now that you've walked this journey, now that you've seen how the shape of your palms, the length of your fingers, the lines written across your skin, and even your smallest gestures hold meaning, it becomes impossible to ever look at your hands the same way again. Because the truth is, they were never just hands. They've always been a mirror. a map, a living symbol of the invisible forces quietly shaping your thoughts, your emotions, your desires, your choices, and the story you've been writing with your life since the day you were born. Carl Jung devoted his life to teaching one profound truth. Nothing in you is random. Every visible trait, whether in your reflection, your hands, your patterns, or your emotions, is an external symbol of what's happening within. A message from the unconscious, waiting to be understood. But let's be honest. Knowing the symbols is only the beginning. The real transformation happens when you finally learn how to work with your mind, with your shadow, with your unconscious patterns, and bring clarity to the chaos that runs silently in the background of your life. That's exactly why I created the SIM method by Jung, a simple but profound daily practice that helps you free your mind, integrate your shadow, and find deep inner peace, all in just 5 minutes a day. If this journey resonated with you, if you're ready to stop being a prisoner of invisible patterns, the link to access it is waiting for you in the pinned comment below. Because the question is no longer, what do my hands say about me? It's now, am I finally ready to become everything I was always meant to be? The invitation is here. The choice is yours.